My beloved child, come closer in spirit and rest your awareness here, because these words are not arriving by chance. They are carried on a current of light that has been moving toward you for a long time. Before your mind tries to analyze, before memory interrupts, before fear attempts to speak, feel the warmth surrounding you now. It is gentle, steady, alive. It knows your name. It knows every tear you swallowed in silence and every prayer you whispered when no one was listening. I am speaking to you from that place beyond noise, beyond confusion, beyond effort. And I want you to know this first. Nothing about your life has been random, and nothing about you is ordinary. You have been feeling a pressure that others do not seem to carry, a weight that follows you even in moments of quiet. At times you believed it was weakness or sensitivity or failure to be strong enough. But listen to me now with an open heart. That pressure is not evidence of fragility. It is evidence of calling. Forces do not gather around what is empty. Resistance does not surround what is insignificant. Attention is never wasted on what carries no consequence. You have been felt long before you fully understood yourself. You have been noticed in realms you cannot see. And because of this, your path has been watched, tested, delayed, and challenged. I know you have wondered why it has been harder for you. Why doors seem to close just as you were ready to walk through. Why people who promised loyalty became lessons instead. Why rest felt temporary and peace felt fragile. You thought perhaps you were doing something wrong. But I tell you now, softly and clearly, you were never being punished. You were being prepared. Fire does not form gold by comfort. Pressure does not shape diamonds by accident. What you carry required depth, resilience, discernment, and strength that could not be taught any other way. There are those who sensed what lived inside you before you could name it. They felt your presence shift rooms. They noticed your words linger longer than others. They saw how even in silence, something in you spoke. And because they could not control it, they attempted to diminish it. Not always with cruelty, sometimes with subtlety, with distraction, with doubt, with the slow erosion of self-belief. They tried to convince you that your light was imagination, that your intuition was foolish, that your dreams were unrealistic, that your heart was too much. But hear me now. They feared what would happen the moment you remembered who you truly are. Your mind has been the battlefield, not because you are weak, but because your thoughts are powerful gateways. Every time you doubted yourself, something tried to move closer. Every time you forgot your worth, something tried to take ground. Yet even then, even in confusion, something within you refused to go dark. You bent, but you did not disappear. You questioned, but you did not surrender. You fell, but something always lifted you back up. That was not chance. That was presence. That was protection. That was me. Now I want you to see something. Close your inner eyes and imagine yourself standing in a wide open space just before dawn. The sky is deep blue, quiet, waiting. As you breathe, a soft golden light begins to rise from the horizon. It moves slowly, warmly, wrapping around your body like a living promise. This light is not outside of you. It is responding to you. With every breath, it grows brighter, stronger, more alive. This is your essence remembering itself. This is the truth that has always been there, now coming forward. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to live small or quiet your knowing to make others comfortable. You were designed to carry insight, to hold vision, to walk with awareness. That is why shallow spaces exhausted you. That is why false connections drained you. That is why your soul longed for more, even when you could not explain what more meant. You were not broken. You were misaligned with what was too small for you. Those who tried to pull from you without honoring you were not accidents. They were tests of discernment. Those who underestimated you were not seeing clearly. They were revealing their fear. And those who left when you began to rise were never meant to walk with you into what comes next. Release them now without bitterness. What is aligned with your next level cannot stay tied to your past. I am asking you now to make a shift, not in effort, but in identity. Stop asking yourself if you are worthy. Start remembering that you are chosen. Stop shrinking your desires to feel safe. Start trusting the expansion that calls you forward. Stop apologizing for the depth of your heart. It is the very instrument through which miracles move. Now rise, my child. Rise in your inner knowing. Rise in your remembrance. Rise beyond the stories that told you to wait, to settle, to accept less. You are not here to survive life. You are here to shape it. As you stand in this awareness, see another vision forming. Above you, the sky opens like a vast gate of light. From it begins to fall a gentle rain, not of water, but of luminous gold. Each drop carries opportunity, clarity, favor, and provision. It lands on your shoulders, your hands, your path. Where it touches, things begin to align. Doors soften, burdens lighten, ideas awaken. This is abundance responding to alignment. This is flow returning to its rightful channel. You were taught that wealth is heavy, that prosperity corrupts, that blessing must be earned through suffering. But listen carefully. True abundance is not a test. It is a tool. It is energy that amplifies who you already are. And because your heart carries generosity, wisdom, and light, what flows toward you will expand goodness, not diminish it. You are safe to receive. You are ready to receive. Receive this blessing now. Let go of the tension around money, success, and expansion. You do not need to chase what is already moving toward you. You need only remain open, aligned, and present. What is meant for you recognizes your frequency. It responds to your faith, not your fear. There will be moments ahead when old voices try to return. They will whisper that this peace will not last, that this clarity is temporary, that you should prepare for loss. When that happens, return here. Return to this awareness. Breathe. Remember, the connection strengthens every time you choose truth over fear. Soon it will feel less like something you visit and more like something you live within. You are not walking alone. You never have been. I am within you, around you, ahead of you, gently arranging what has already been promised. Long before you asked, long before you believed, long before you knew how ready you truly were. Now let your heart speak these truths softly, letting them settle into your being like seeds in fertile ground. I am open to divine abundance. I am guided by unwavering light. I am worthy of wealth and peace. I am supported at every step. I am aligned with miracles. I am protected, provided for, and loved. Stay here a moment longer. Let gratitude rise without effort. Let trust replace tension. Let stillness become strength. Life is no longer something you must fight. It is something you are learning to flow with. And as you move forward, know this with certainty. What is unfolding now is not accidental. It is the fulfillment of something set in motion long ago. Rest, my beloved, walk gently, receive freely. You are ready, you are chosen, you are blessed. Blessed, and as that knowing settles into you, feel how the quiet itself begins to change texture, as if the air around your soul has grown softer, thicker with meaning, because this is the moment where rest turns into revelation, where stillness becomes movement without noise, and you begin to sense something shifting beneath the surface of your life, something ancient waking up, something that has waited patiently for you to stop running from yourself and finally listen. You may not see it clearly yet, but there is a gentle rearranging happening now, a divine reordering that does not announce itself with thunder, but with certainty, the kind that feels like coming home after a long journey you didn't realize had exhausted you. And as you breathe, you may notice how your chest loosens, how the tight grip around your heart softens. Because for the first time in a long while, you are not bracing for impact. You are allowing support. There has always been more working for you than against you. Even in the seasons where it felt like everything was collapsing at once, even when losses stacked upon losses and explanations never came, even when prayers felt unanswered and silence felt louder than hope. Because behind what you could see, I was guiding, redirecting, protecting you from paths that would have cost you more than you knew, shielding you from outcomes that looked appealing, but would have drained your spirit dry. Some doors closed because what was behind them required you to become smaller to survive there, and I will never ask you to shrink to fit a place that was never meant to hold you. Some relationships fell apart because they were built on versions of you that were temporary, not on the truth of who you are becoming. Some delays existed not to punish you, but to align timing, to ensure that when you arrive whole, not wounded, clear, not desperate, ready, not, merely hopeful. You are stepping into a phase where clarity will begin to replace confusion. Not all at once, not violently, but gently, like morning light creeping into a dark room, revealing what was always there but unseen. You will start to notice patterns dissolving, cycles breaking without force, reactions losing their grip on you, triggers that once pulled you under no longer having the same power. Because growth is not always loud, sometimes it is simply the quiet realization that you no longer feel the same pull toward what once consumed you. And this too is a miracle. Not the kind that draws crowds, but the kind that saves lives from the inside out. I know there were times you felt overlooked, as if your efforts vanished into the air, as if giving your best never resulted in being met halfway, as if your sincerity was taken for granted and your patience mistaken for weakness. But hear me now, nothing you poured out with a pure heart was wasted. Every act of kindness, every moment of integrity, every time you chose compassion over bitterness, those moments were recorded not in memory, but in alignment, shaping the frequency you now carry. A frequency that attracts what can meet you at your depth. What is coming toward you cannot be sustained by surface-level intention. It requires the maturity you have earned, the discernment you have developed, the strength that only comes from surviving what you once thought would break you. There is a kind of wealth approaching you that goes beyond numbers, though numbers will follow. A richness that begins in peace, that expresses itself in freedom, that manifests as opportunity without strain, as provision without panic, as success without the loss of self. You were never meant to hustle your soul into exhaustion just to feel safe. You were never meant to trade your health for approval, your joy for survival, your truth for acceptance. The abundance aligned with you honors your wholeness. It moves with ease, not urgency. It arrives with confirmation, not confusion. And you will recognize it not by how impressive it looks to others, but by how calm your nervous system feels when it enters your life. Let yourself imagine now another vision, deeper and more intimate. See yourself walking along a path made of soft light, stretching forward farther than you can see. Yet you are not afraid, because each step lights up only when your foot is ready to land, teaching you trust, reminding you that clarity is not given all at once, but revealed through movement. Above this path, the sky glows with warm hues of gold and sapphire, and around you the air hums gently, as if creation itself is breathing with you, affirming each step, supporting each choice. This is how your life unfolds when you walk in alignment, not rushing ahead of your readiness, not clinging to what is behind, but moving forward in rhythm with grace. You may have believed that faith required certainty, that you needed all the answers before you could feel secure. But faith has always been about relationship, not control. It is about trusting presence even when outcomes are still forming. It is about knowing you are held even when the path curves out of sight. And now, as you deepen into this trust, you will notice how your decisions begin to feel lighter, how intuition becomes clearer, how you no longer need external validation to confirm what your spirit already knows. This is maturity of the soul. This is wisdom earned through experience, not borrowed from others. There will still be moments of challenge ahead, but they will not define you the way they once did. They will pass through you, not lodge within you. You will respond instead of react. You will observe instead of absorb. And in those moments, remember this truth: nothing that is truly meant for you will require you to abandon yourself to receive it. Anything that demands you betray your peace, silence your intuition, or compromise your integrity is not a blessing, no matter how shiny it appears. You are no longer available for deals that cost you your soul. As your inner world stabilizes, your outer world will begin to reflect it. This is not magic, it is alignment. When your nervous system feels safe, creativity flows. When your heart feels supported, courage rises. When your mind trusts the process, opportunities find you with less resistance. You will notice conversations shifting, environments responding differently, doors opening where walls once stood, and you will smile quietly, not out of surprise, but recognition, because something within you will say, yes, this feels right. This feels earned. This feels like the natural next step. You are allowed to want more. more ease, more joy, more beauty, more financial freedom, more time, more rest. Desire does not make you greedy, it makes you honest. Suppressing your longing never made you holy, it only made you smaller. The desires aligned with your highest good are invitations, not temptations. They are signals pointing you toward expansion, and you are learning now how to desire without attachment, to want without desperation, to dream without losing yourself in the outcome. This balance is power. Let the old narrative fall away now. The one that said you must struggle endlessly to prove your worth. That suffering is the price of love, that rest must be earned through exhaustion. That story served its purpose in teaching you empathy, depth, and resilience. But it is not the story you will continue living. A new chapter is forming, one written with intention, guided by wisdom, softened by grace. You do not need to announce it. You do not need to defend it. Simply live it, and those who are meant to recognize it will. There is a quiet authority growing within you, not loud, not forceful, but steady. It shows up in how you speak less and observe more, how you choose your battles carefully, how you no longer feel the need to explain your boundaries. This authority does not dominate, it anchors. And because of it, you will begin to attract partnerships, collaborations, and opportunities that respect your time, your energy, and your values. You are moving out of survival-based connections and into alignment-based ones. If there is grief still lingering in you, for the years you spent lost, for the versions of yourself that didn't make it, for the dreams that had to be released, let that grief be honored without letting it define you. Those versions were not failures. They were necessary steps. They carried you as far as they could. Thank them gently and allow yourself to move forward unburdened. You are not late. You are right on time for the life that fits you now. Feel once more the warmth around you, stronger now, more familiar, like a presence that has always been there, but is finally being acknowledged. This warmth is not leaving when the words end. It remains with you in choices, in pauses, in breaths. It is the reminder that you are not navigating this life alone, that guidance is available the moment you quiet enough to feel it, that support surrounds you even when circumstances fluctuate. And as you continue step by step, breath by breath, let these truths settle deeper, not as affirmations you repeat, but as realities you embody, knowing that from this place, from this grounded awareness, your life will continue to unfold not as a series of battles to survive, but as a journey guided by trust, wisdom, and a quiet confidence that no longer needs permission to exist. Because you are living from the inside out now, anchored in light, aligned with purpose, open to abundance, and ready for what comes next. Not because you have all the answers, but because you have learned how to listen.